Then I will make a comparison. I just
For those of you online, we're gonna get started in just a couple minutes here. Feel free to grab a water, and we'll just allow some people to get in here. Just a heads up, today's class is recorded, so if you do need to jump at any point, like for example, I know Tasha's form class is going on right now. That's hugely important. I realize. So feel free to jump in on that, and this will be recorded and on the KW YouTube page as well, so that you can check that out. But if you do have time today, if you would like to stay on, it will be a great class about listing marketing and all we can do in command with our listing marketing. So then when you do have a listing, or even if you don't have a listing, you can be posting and sending out things about real estate listings to make you more credible. So that will be today's class, and we'll get started in just a minute here. If you cannot see my screen or hear me at any point, just let me know, and I'll go ahead and put that in the chat just in case you can't hear me. But it seems like the microphone's working. Oops. I'm gonna go ahead and give a fair warning that my nails are getting too long, so I'm gonna be like, the typing, I always mess up once my nails get too long, so just beware as I'm doing my captioning. And we'll get started in just a second. I'm gonna go ahead and sign in. So I'm in here. I'm probably gonna get a verification code to sign in because I usually am on the other half of this room with the other device. So let me just make sure I don't need a code here. Alrighty, so we can go ahead and get started today. So to start off, I am Jules. I am the I'm part of the in-house marketing team here with JuLeah Designs. And every Thursday we have these marketing classes where we dive deeper into the marketing side of things. So on Tuesdays, there's tech classes from 1 to 2 right in the KWD training room. And then Thursdays now, those are marketing related, and also 1 to 2. So same kind of schedule that we had previously with the Tuesday, Thursday, 1 to 2. But now you'll be more geared towards either the tech side or marketing side, depending on what you want to learn in your business. So with those class topics, if you're ever wondering what the next class is going to be in that topic, just a heads up, that is on the office calendar so that you can click right on our kwbresources.com website. And you're able to see what we have going on with that class today. So for today's class is listing marketing. So you can join us if that is something you would like to learn about. If you would like a one-on-one session with us to go over some coaching strategies and marketing strategies together, clicking the marketing help on the top right there, that's going to bring you right to our calendar so that you can book with us. And how our model works is we can teach you right in our coaching sessions and in these classes. And then we can also leverage that. So we have packages for you like social media and email newsletters that we can also provide for you for a paid cost. So definitely be sure to jump in on these Thursday classes if you're looking to learn that for free. And we'll go through the whole strategy right here from 1 to 2 every Thursday. So let's go ahead and get started with our listing marketing. So for the most part today, I'm going to be right in command. where we sign in at agent.kw.com. And first, I kind of want to talk through just the overall strategy of listing marketing in general and where mostly we see that leads come from with our leads and with our listing marketing leads. So being a part of KW, there is the KWLS syndication with the MLS. So what that means is being a KW agent, as soon as you put your listing into the MLS, it then syndicates to all the big sites out there. So Zillow, JuLeah, Realtor.com. When you enter that your listing into the MLS, that automatically gets that listing across all those big platforms, but not just the big platforms. So with the KWLS syndication, that actually goes to the big ones and the little small sites. It goes to over 150 different websites. So your listing, as soon as you put it into the MLS, is going everywhere due to that syndication. And what we see is now in 2025, about 8% of buyers and buyers agents find their home online, whether that be on Zillow, whether that be in the MLS if they're a buyer's agent. So in regards to get the exposure of the listing, when you put it into the MLS, that syndicates already across 150 sites for those online buyers. So 80% of that is already taken care of. So that begs the question, then what's the marketing? Why is the marketing so important for you? So for one, that 80%, so that leaves 20% that will find it through your marketing. So of course, pushing that out on your social media, email, maybe paid ads, postcards, those kind of channels, of course, increase exposure and help reach that extra 20% of people. Another reason is to secure sellers. So during your listing appointments, having a list of all the things that you do to market that out, other than just putting it into the MLS, that speaks highly to sellers so that you can secure that appointment and then that you can upkeep your promises by actually doing that marketing for them. But I would say the main reason that, especially social media and email, especially those channels, the main reason why it's so important to do your listing marketing is for sphere referrals. So not only does posting there keep your business top of mind when they see your post or email, but it brands you as a credible, experienced agent because, wow, look how successful you are on these past transactions. Well, that makes me feel better about working with you. So it builds that trust. Plus, it shows your sphere. This is how you could market their listing. So doing a good job with your listing marketing actually speaks to your sphere like, wow, they're doing a really good job. That's a reason I might want to sell with them because I want my listing to be marketed as well as they're doing with other listings. So those are the main reasons, and we're really going to focus in on the sphere side of things since real estate is really a sphere business. So to start off, we're going to start by doing a social media post and an email as well, right from command. Those two channels, social media and email, are the free channels to get in front of your sphere. So those are the ones that you would always want to do if you had a listing to get those in front of your warmer leads, which is your sphere. So to start off today, I'm going to show you a section of command that we can find listings. So let's say you might not have a listing right now. We can still practice on a listing. And in regards to compliance, you can actually market any Keller Williams Valentine listings. So you can market that yourself as long as that's a Keller Williams Valentine listing. Now, it's always great to reach out to the listing agent to verify that you can market that listing. It's always good just to check with them. But typically, agents are really excited when you reach out saying you want to market their listing because that just helps, market that listing for them as well. So typically what we see is that agents will allow you to market their listings even if it's not yours. So a lot of times too, new agents will come in and ask the best way to kind of niche themselves. So for example, like being more of a luxury niche, or maybe a land niche. So as a new agent, even if you're not having listings right now, what I might recommend is going through the listing section of Command, and I'll show you how to do that. And searching for listings from Keller Williams Valentine that fit your niche. So that way you can post that onto your social media and build your marketing that way. And any questions that you have, feel free to put in the chat. I'm happy to answer those for you. Or you can unmute too. So to start off, we're going to navigate to the listing section of Command. And that's going to be this sign icon on the left-hand side. Now, when I first click on there, that's going to show me any listings I have under my MLS. If you have listings and you're not seeing it here, you can click Sync My MLS, and that's going to pull those in for you. But those should auto pull right in to Command. However, if you want to search for additional listings, for example, like our Keller Williams Valentine listings, you can also do that right from Command. So if we click on Search at the top white toolbar here, it's going to ask you if you want to use your location. Totally up to your privacy preferences for that. So I'm going to go ahead and click Allow. Hey, how are you?
Hi, she's doing a class.
Yeah, I got a lot online.
So she, JuLeah, the marketing team.
And so on the left-hand side here, we could search.
She's in the
And then on the right-hand side, we can also filter. So one of these filters, oh, I see a chat, sorry. Oh, there we go. Oh, yes, absolutely. Yeah, so when you click on that, the listing section in the search bar first, it's a browser setting, so it should, depending on the browser you're using, like Google Chrome pops up in this little icon to allow your location to be seen. If you turn that off, that's totally okay. You can also just search here, in the search bar. Or the search bar here. I don't know why there's two actually. Either way, you can search by either of those search bars. So you don't have to turn on your location if you don't want to. And then at that point, just a heads up, this little toggle is searching within map. So if you are not seeing any listings on this side, if you just turn that off, it's going to pull everything that is in that Charlotte location. Then under filters, we're going to see a market center filter that we can check for Valentine listings and apply filter. So ideally, we could kind of go through this list and see any properties that we will want to market and post on our page. Like this one's, I think, really pretty. So I'm going to click on this. And then we're also going to be able to see the listing agent right here as well. So you'll see who that listing agent is so that you can reach out to them. And you'll see all the property information right from here. So the details, everything, you can reach out to them, make sure that you can market this listing. And I would recommend maybe just having this page up so that we can reference it as we build our social media together. So next, we're going to create our social media post. And typically how these sections work together is we create our social media content and designs, and we go send that out or blast that out in campaigns. So that's what we're going to do here. So I'm just going to right click on that and open it in a new tab so I can keep my listing details up.
That's right. Thank you very much.
And now I'm in the design section of Command. Nice.
Great job.
Thank you.
How's that?
So when you come to the design section, that's gonna be any designs you previously worked on, so your page might look a little different than mine here. But if we click create design in the top right corner, we're gonna get some options here, and depending on our goal, so for social media, we'll of course click social. And then click next. Oops, sorry. Okay. All right, when we come into this section, this is WeBrand. We have a ton of great templates here. So across your social media accounts, we have a ton of different things to work with here. My favorite part about Command's designs is the sync with the MLS. So creating listing marketing, for example, is really easy in Command. I prefer it in Command versus like other platforms like Canva because of this sync. So for this, I'm going to click listings on the left-hand side. And then I'm going to click on the status that I want to create that for. So if it's just listed, maybe we're just doing a for sale one. Anytime I click on a category, I'm going to get some extra options up here depending on what I'm looking for channel-wise. So for social media, I like the social squares. Those tend to perform nicely. And then that helps me narrow down my options for this this marketing. Oh, these are cool. These are pretty new. I like them. I'm going to use one of the new ones today. So whichever one you want to use, totally up to you, because the steps are going to stay relatively the same. So up to which one you like the look of most. We're going to hover over that and don't click on it right away. We want to find this auto button. This is going to make our life so much easier. So hover over any design you want to use and click auto. And then it's going to prompt us to fill in a couple fields, and it's going to generate this design for us. So I'm going to go back to my listing page so I can grab that address. Search. Okay. Oh, you know why? I forgot to change it from sold. I didn't even get a for sale one. All right, sorry guys. Let's go back and get a better example than that. So that's a great point. I need to filter, and I did this last class too. I made this mistake. So we can filter by two things instead. Let's do active, and then keep the market center as Valentine. So check that again. Okay, so now we're Valentine and active. That's important. And apply. And now pick up based off this list so that we can market a like for sale one. Sorry to go back on you. Let's do this. I know this. Yep, this is Sherry. So again, we can see the listing agent, so we can reach out to confirm that we can market this one. And now I'm going to go ahead and grab this address. And put it in here. Let me know if I can repeat any steps since I kind of went back there. Sorry, that was confusing. But oh. Here, let's try this. Okay. Do it by MLS number. That's the problem. Okay. Well. Okay, let me try one more listing to see if it's the listing itself. If not, it may just be like having itself a day right now while I'm in the middle of teaching, which is always great. So let me see here. For sale. Okay, zero search, term search, valid. Okay, well. I don't know what is causing this per se. So instead. One, let me check the status of maybe like something's going on with KW right now or with the tech. Anytime that you're maybe unsure that if it's you or like the system, I like to go to status.kw.com. Just check out to see if anything has been reported. Doesn't seem like it. And if so, I might need to report this. But just so I can kind of show you the steps, sorry that didn't work for me to show you. It is really cool when it does work. Auto. And this is another great resource I love to show. I use this so much in my day-to-day. So answers.kw.com is basically like you can ask it anything with the KW tech. Like you'll find the like command in general is pretty niche since it's made by KW. But answers.kw.com has articles and screenshots of every part of command so that you can reference this at any point at a later time. So if you're ever like, oh, I would love to learn more about smart plans in command, coming here is a great place to start because it will give you kind of step-by-steps on how that would look. So this is walking through what I was trying to walk through, but it looks like it's going through a flyer. But basically what's awesome about it is that you can just insert in those fields. So for example, starting with the listing address, then this is an open house example, so you can put in your open house time. Then the home details automatically pull from the MLS details. So there's not much you have to actually update here, except selecting an image. As well as for flyer purposes, those do have bullet points, and that's what they're filling out in this video right now. But for the social media posts themselves, they don't have the extra details there. So it's a matter of just picking your favorite image for that one. And you can do that by clicking on that plus icon. And again, for social media posts, there's just one option. So you just basically pick your favorite. Lastly, it's the agent details. So that auto pulls from your marketing profile in command. But you can update that here and click generate design like they did there. And it's going to create that design for you so that you can go ahead and edit that if you so need to, like they're doing there. And download that on your computer. So it's really easy to create, again, when it does work. I don't know why it was giving me an error message there. So, okay, jumping a little bit since we're going to move right along from that. So email design. So you can create that from command. You can create that from Canva. Wherever you create that, just be sure you are creating a social media post so that you can post that on your social media for your marketing. So that's one way we can market that out. Another way we can market that out is with an email blast. And again, this is great to reach your sphere. So to do this, I'm going to navigate to designs again. The same kind of thing where we create that in designs and we go send that out in campaigns. So when I get to designs, I can click on create design in the top right corner. And email this time. So just a heads up, there are more than 4 templates. There's 14. So depending on the status that you're wanting to send this out about, we can select that and click next. Then we're going to edit this together. The first step I typically start with is just the name of this design. And that's just for your organization purposes so that you can find that at a later time. I'm going to re-pull up my listing since now I. Also. Okay. Listing search. And I'm going to do filters. Oh, because it's searching in the map area with that toggle, so I'm gonna turn that off. And just allow it to search for all and just select my favorite. Hey there. So I'm gonna use this listing again for this for the email this time. So for the title of this, I'm just gonna name it the listing address, so I know what this is. No one sees this except you, so this is your organization purposes. Then at the top, these are utilizing merge fields, so these will auto pull in based off what's in your marketing profile. To feel really good about that, what I love to do is by clicking options in the top right, we can click on preview. And we'll be able to see that filled in so that we can feel good that that will pull in. Moving on down. So let's go with this image here. So to edit any element on this email design, on the left-hand side, we're going to double click on what we want to edit. And when we do that, on the right-hand side, we're going to get an editor to start making our changes with. So for this image, I can click replace. And again, what I love about Command is that it syncs with the MLS. So instead of having to download that image, I can actually just go over to listing images here. And I really hope it pulls up this time around. I'm gonna go grab that listing address. And everyone keep their fingers crossed. Thank you. Woohoo! Okay, but make sure you find the right listing. So making sure that you're not in Idaho, for example, we want to make sure we select the right one by clicking view. And then all the images that we need pull right in. So we just need to pick our favorite here. So I'm going to pick the front of it. But of course, if you have something like a great pool in the backyard or a great kitchen, you can select your favorite and click replace. Then we'll see that on the left-hand side. But what moves us right along is instead of clicking that save, which I know is awfully close, we're going to click that arrow button right here to move us along. And that's going to save that onto our design. Clicking save in the top right, I also like to do, and that saves our whole design. But in regards to saving this image, clicking that arrow is what's going to save us and move us right along. So let's move right down to the text now. Again, double clicking on what you want to edit will allow you to change that. And then you can make your changes on the right-hand side here. So I'm just going to go grab the address. That out. 400. Keyboard shortcut for those who would like to know how to paste without formatting. It's Shift-Control-V, or if you're on a Mac, it's Shift-Command-V. Yes. So I like that one. Perfect. Okay, so we can format that on the left hand or on the right hand side, excuse me. And any changes we're making to that formatting, whether that be the size, the font, any of those changes that we make on the right hand side, again, clicking that arrow is what's going to save that and move us along on the left hand side. So that moves us right along. And we can make our changes to the details as well. So it's like we've got 2 bedrooms, 2 baths, 4. Make your changes in here. What's great about this listing section as well is that we have the property description here too, so that we can copy and paste that for the body of our text. Same kind of steps always apply. We're gonna double click on the left-hand side, make our edits on the right-hand side, and click that arrow icon. I won't go through all the steps of like changing these details, but if you have any questions as you're going through, let me know in the chat. We can also delete things that we don't want in here. So for example, if we don't need extra images for this listing, what we want to do is look out for these layout keys so that we can delete things in groups, so that you're not having to delete that one at a time. Then for the button, what's going to be great to link this up to is the property information from your website. So let's talk through the steps to do that. So first step will be to go to your live website. And if you're not sure what your website is, like your website URL, if you go into command, running out of batteries. You're getting batteries. Hold on. Okay. If you're not sure what your website URL is, if you go to the last icon on the left side of command, that's going to bring you right to your website URL that you can copy and paste right into a new tab. But the steps are, we're going to go ahead and search for this property on your live website. So on your website, we're going to use the search bar here and paste in the website URL. And instead of clicking search, what I would encourage you to do is wait until the dropdown does populate and click on the address from this dropdown. From this dropdown, you'll see one property will have a dot on it, and that will let you know that it's the active listing. So clicking on that from the dropdown will bring you right to the property page. And this property page is really informational. So it has all the photos from the MLS, has all the information, property description. They can calculate their estimated monthly payment. So it's a great page to direct them to, and that's what we're going to direct them to in your email. So to do that, we're going to copy this URL. Then we're going to go back to your email template. Oops, email one, not the. And I double clicked on this button on the left hand side to open up my editor on the right hand side. One, I can change what that button's saying. And I can also link that to a certain web address. So if I click on web address here, I can paste in this URL. And again, clicking that arrow near the top-ish is what's going to save that URL. So from here, we can save and close since we've made all our changes that we're needing. Of course, make your change, all the changes. I didn't do the full thing. But we can click save and close. And just a heads up now, that's going to be in our design section. So if you need to come back and edit it, if you need to come back and make a copy of it, you can do that right from here. But now that we've got that content created here, we're going to go send that out from the campaign section. So campaigns, so when we come here, that's going to bring us to this overarching campaigns dashboard. We could, if we wanted to, come over to the emails dashboard, and that's going to show you how many emails you have remaining, your past emails that you've sent, and analytics on that. But clicking create campaign in the top right corner is what's going to bring us to our build out to send this out. So create campaign and email. Then we do need to give it a name and a goal. This is only for your organization purposes so that you know what this email is within your analytics, so no one sees this. And give it a goal. And then leave it on command email. You can ignore MailChimp. Let's just click create campaign. Okay. So now we're just going to try to fill out each of these sections on the left-hand side here. We already did number 1. And number 2, we can't change. So that is just the email that's going to come back to. If yours is displaying an email that is not yours or the one that you would like to change, just let me know in the chat and I'll let you know where we can go change that. But that should be one that you're using for business. Number 3 is going to be your recipients list. So as you're creating lists, you're going to get this drop down of all the past email lists you've created. Now, just a heads up, those don't auto update. So for example, I have lots of test examples of all contacts. Unfortunately, as you're adding more contacts to command, that list doesn't exactly auto update, but you can edit your lists right from here. So if you need to edit those existing lists, you can click on edit. If you need to create a new list, you can click create list here. Now, the most popular ways you're going to create email lists are going to be based off tags. So for example, if you're good about tagging your database with things like buyer, seller, in-state, out-of-state, maybe even what language they speak. What's so powerful about tagging your database is that you can then market to them with stuff they care about. So for example, if you do have a language one, like if they speak Spanish, well, you could use ChatGPT and create marketing content in their preferred language. For sellers, you can create like seller guides and seller relevant information and send them email campaigns based off what they're looking for and vice versa. So that's a common way email lists are created, is based off tag. If you do want to create an all contacts list, I have some tips for that, because it's not as easy as saying all contacts and then clicking select all, unfortunately. So what we want to do for that is, one, just a heads up in this section, this is pulling your contacts with emails. So if you're trying to create an all contact list and you're like, hey, I have like 5,000 contacts, but you only have 2,500 emails, well, it's only pulling those 2,500 in this section here. But also, if you have over 100 contacts, what you need to do, so instead of just selecting all here, what you need to do is scroll to the very, very bottom of this list, and it will have a button here that says load more. And you need to click that and continuously do that until you're actually seeing all your contacts. So it's not saying load more here anymore. And then at that point, if you scroll to the top and click select all, it will select all of them. So again, that's if you have over 100 emails in your database. If you're trying to create an all contacts list, you need to scroll down to the very bottom, click load more, and continuously do that until you see them all, and then scroll to the top and select all. Let me know if you have questions on that. But then clicking confirm, that will create that email list. Then we only have a couple other things we have to fill out here. So the subject line, so that we can give it a nice subject. If you would like to get an engaging one, maybe utilizing ChatGPT or AI to give you a nice subject for this listing. And then the last step here is we're going to click select design and select our email design we created. Now it will allow us to make any final changes that we need to. So if you see anything that we need to change, same kind of steps, we can double click, make our changes, and click that arrow icon, save it. And then clicking save and close will move us back into our email build out. And then on the right-hand side, you'll see an email preview. I would highly recommend clicking the actions button and clicking send test email. And sending a test email to yourself so that you can see that fully. Because sometimes the email preview looks a little different than how it actually sends. So doing a test email will actually allow you to see how that looks with the subject and everything before we schedule that out or send that out right away. We have two options at that point, schedule or send. And if you do need to save a draft, you can also click save draft and save and exit here. And where those drafts are is under the campaign section in the email at the top. You'll see your draft here, and we can click the three icons to make that further edits to that. So those are the main two ways and the free ways to get in front of your sphere. And that's going to be hugely helpful for your business anytime you get a listing so that you can get even more business from your sphere. Alrighty. So another great thing to do when you do have a listing would be to go feature that on the homepage of your website. That's something you can also mention maybe in your listing appointment that you'll be able to do. And this is how we can do that. So on the left-hand side, we can navigate to our website section. And then click, I guess, manage website. All right, this is new. Okay, now this is this. Okay, once we get to edit website here, let me double check actually. So there are some things we can change on the homepage, and they're constantly updating this. So I'm interested to see when we're able to easily add our featured listings right to our page. Not yet, that's okay. But we can do that from expert mode because we are experts, in fact. So let's go ahead and navigate there.
Hey. You learn how to add a listing to your website?
Yeah, we'd love to learn how.
And let's switch my website. Oh, I was just saying. Yeah,
I so will. Alrighty, so if you're getting this big pop-up, you can exit out of this actually. I'm just trying to. Am I crazy? How do I use it? Okay, there we go. And if Susan's in, I'm trying to find the Explore on my own button. Because you can always tour this at a later time in the top right if you ever want to go back to that. So just click Explore my own for now. And we are trying to find our homepage here. I have a ton of test pages here, so that's why mine is so crowded. But what you're looking for is just the custom homepage / default homepage. And click on that to start our edits. So what we're going to see here is modules on the left-hand side, and then your preview on the right-hand side. For featured listings and featured properties, we can go right to number 2, which is listing list and featured properties. And there's a couple settings if you're just coming in here for the first time that I would recommend going ahead and turning on. So if it's not already turned on dynamic, if it's on basic, I would click on this drop down and change it to dynamic here. And your location will default to our market center location. However, if you specialize maybe in Shelby or Gaston County, if you want to change this listing or this location center point, you most definitely can. I personally would also recommend changing the search radius to something a lot bigger, especially if you're licensed in North Carolina and South Carolina. I usually just go ahead and do 200 to make sure I definitely have it covered. And then I love to sort my list by recently updated. But again, kind of up to you. If you are maybe trying to niche and be luxury, maybe you want that price high to low. And this drop down here, featured listings by, is the important one that I believe by default is turned off. But for compliance and for your business in general, we want to turn these both on. So go ahead and click on featured listings by and toggle my listings and my brokerage listings turned on. And that way, right on your homepage, you're going to get only compliant listings marketed. However, so because this is sorted by recently updated, yours won't always pull right to the front of this list. So if yours was, it's another agent in this market center, then updates theirs, that's going to pull up front. So a couple ways we could go about this. One, if you wanted to turn this off and only have your listings up there, you could do that, and then they would always have your listings front and center. If you're an agent though that might not have a lot of listings at a certain time, you would probably want to keep this brokerage listing turned on so when they get to your website, they can see properties right away. And in that case, we can just pin our listings right to the front instead. So clicking that plus icon under pinned listings will allow you to search by your listing address. So that could be the very front one on this list. Oh, and then click publish to get that to save in the top right. There it is. So now when I go right onto my website, right on the home page of my website, see that listing right front and center? And so will your clients. Alrighty. And then lastly, for the last 10 minutes of class, kind of just want to go over the other options in Command that helps get this listing in front of more people. So like I said, your sphere is going to be a great place to push that out for to help get more business sphere referrals. However, if you're maybe trying to grow your sphere a little bit, or you're just trying to get extra exposure maybe in the neighborhood, there's a couple ways that we can use Command to go about that. And I'm more so going to point you in the direction and then point you to answers.kw.com to see the steps on the how to do that. So again, great resource, answers.kw.com, great one to bookmark if you haven't already. So the two additional ways I might recommend is one is through a postcard. So in Command, we can actually create postcards and send them out to specific neighborhoods just by drawing a circle on a map. So direct mailer is what it's called, not the. Okay. So what's great about Command is that they have pre-made templates right in the campaign section to make things really easy for you. So this is all through the campaign section of Command. And as you see with these screenshots here, we can create campaign and do this as a direct mailer. What I really want to get to, my favorite part about this, so this walks you through, yes, how to create that postcard right from there. But what I really get excited about is the targeting ability. So as you see, it's very important. Okay, here we go, figure targeting. Woo. So what you're able to do is based off that listing address, you're able to put that right in that search bar. And by default, it's going to hit the 200 homes in the radius of that listing address. So Command automatically knows those addresses and pulls them for you, so you don't need to go find those addresses. And they do the postage and delivery of that postcard as well. So you'll see with this screenshot, you're able to filter that down by hitting targeting homes that you want to. But even cooler is that you can also customly draw around the location you want to hit. So you can make the exact shape that you're wanting. It will pull all the homes within that area and allow you to send them, again, do the postage and send out right to their mailbox. Price wise, I've heard great feedback on. So depending on the size and postage of that postcard, we're looking at like 95 cents to $1 per postcard. So that is a great way to help get your name out there and get extra exposure to the neighbors who might want to bring their friends and family into the neighborhood with them. Also, right from command, I'm gonna move articles here. We can run paid ads through command as well. So paid ads in general, those leads are gonna be a lot colder than like your warmer sphere leads. However, it is good to help add contacts to your database, as well as help appease the sellers with some great analytics. And the answers article for that, I like to search up is paid ad. And if I click get started with paid ads, I love this article. It's my favorite one for this. One, it will walk you through how to set up your paid ad section. So for example, connect your Facebook page to this section of command. It walks you right through that. But then better yet, at the very bottom, it gives you a list and links to how to create each ad depending on your goal. So this one, for example, like for listing marketing, my goal is to do listing with multiple images, so that I can click on that to get the article for that. But you'll see like this one's multiple listings or not a listing. So depending on your goal, we can click on the link. And then again, it's going to give us nice step-by-steps with screenshots. And where you find this section in command is in the campaigns section. So same with postcards. So we can do email, social media, postcards, and paid ads, all from that campaign section. That's neat. It is, thank you. And once we click on paid ad quick start, we're gonna get brought to this new experience here. And right from the dashboard, we're able to select our goal. And you'll see some extra options when you're in this dashboard. And it's very important that we're choosing ones that have this little blue include Facebook lead form icon on it. And because that's the most effective way for us to capture leads. That allows them to click on your ad, click submit, and that lead goes right into your command database so that you can start reaching out to them. So that's the power behind these blue ones. Then it's pretty straightforward in the sense that it walks you through exactly what you need to fill out, starting with your listing. You just put in your listing address. Then you can target your listing and do local targeting if you would like, either by local or even custom. You can hit custom cities all throughout the nation. Then it allows you to fill out the headline and the body text. What I love about this new experience as well is that you'll see a sparkle icon. It looks like this here. In the bottom right of this section, it's hiding a little bit. When you're filling this out, and it actually produces the body text and headline for you with AI. Next, you get to select your favorite images that pull right from the MLS. You can link that right to your website like we did with that email button, so that when they click on the ad, they're actually brought to your website and to more information on that property. We can set up a couple of things to automatically happen. For example, we can auto tag them with Facebook ad, and we can even start them on a smart plan or a follow-up plan, for example. And then the last thing that you need to do is just select your budget and duration. And that's going to be published in a matter of typically 24 hours. It takes Facebook to review that. In regards to your budget and duration, what's recommended is that you run that for 5 to 7 days for $5 to $7 a day. So you're looking at a total budget around $35 to $50. Run for 5 to 7 days. And then you can put in your card information. You can even save that for next time to make things even quicker. And again, that will publish out for that location. So the reason why that's paid, a paid feature, is because it's getting in front of people that aren't your followers. It's getting in front of people based off the location that you put in. And it helps you collect more contacts into your database. So I highly recommend, again, if you do find this to be something you would maybe want to implement into your business, highly recommend going to answers.kw.com for the full, or for something to reference as you're going through it. And just a heads up as well with the listing marketing, that is something that we provide as well with JuLeah Design. So if you have a listing and you would like that marketed out with an email, a social media post, a print ready flyer, then you can reach out to contact@juleahdesigns.com and we can help you with that for just $75 a listing. So thank you for joining in on today's class. And if you have time next week, Thursday, 1 to 2, feel free to join us for some more marketing. And yeah, hope you have a great day. Let me know if you have any questions in the chat. I can stick around for a couple minutes here. And again, a reminder of how to book with us is on kwvresources.com. Thank you.
You wanna go see my car?
Yeah. So
Will we come see it today?